What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, the only Magic the Gathering YouTube channel doing giveaways based on how I draft. You'll see up on the screen here, if I get 0 wins in this draft, I'm giving away a collector booster pack. All the way down to 7 wins, I'll be giving away a draft to one of you. All you have to do to claim this is to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on how you think I did. Before we jump into it, we are going to spin that challenge wheel to see what our challenge is going to be heading into this draft. So let's go ahead and give it a spin and make this draft a little bit harder for ourselves. Alright, so today's challenge is going to be who needs rares. It's very simple in this challenge. If it's rare, I cannot take it. I have to create a deck with 0 rares, 0 mythics, and hopefully I can scrap out some wins here. And who knows, if I get 0 wins, one of you is getting a collector booster pack. So cheer for me or against me, and let's hop into it. Alright, so jumping into this draft here, we are hoping to not see any good rares because we will not be able to take them. And there are a couple here. So, Avenger of the Fallen is decent in Mardu. You typically don't have a ton of cards in the graveyard, so like the Mobilizing X is typically like 1, 2, or 3. It can be good in other decks as well, though, if you have like a ton of cards in your graveyard. Tursa Light Shatter is also pretty fun and pretty good if we were going in a really aggressive either Mardu, Rakdos, or Boros deck. But I'm going to take a look at the uncommons and the commons here, and hopefully we can get enough value to win a couple of games here. So we could take a Teeming Dragonstorm, which is really good if we have a lot of other dragons. I don't totally know that we're going to have them here. We could take a Quarry Mountain Stalwart as a super solid 3-drop, and is one that is good if we're flurrying a bunch, so like Jeskai decks. Sipsig Appraiser is a great common, Stormplane Attainment is a solid removal spell, and then Shock Brigade is a good, really aggressively slanted card. I'm actually going to go with a Sipsig Appraiser here. I'm worried about the Mardu cards that we're passing in this pack. So I think that if it comes back to us, we are worried about, not getting that value. That being said, Sonic Shrieker is here, which is a really, really fantastic dragon. Is a super good top end. We also could just take a Knockout Maneuver as a really good removal spell. Kishla Trawlers is okay. Humbling Elder is okay. I don't think we necessarily have a blue card we want to follow up the Sipsig Appraiser with. So I'm really between the Sonic Shrieker, the Sultai Monument, and the Knockout Maneuver. I'm going to go ahead and bank on the fact that Mardu is just like not going to be open based on what I passed. I passed so many good Mardu cards that I think that the second pack, there will be such little value there that it doesn't make sense for us to invest in that early. So I'm going to go a little weird here and take a Knockout Maneuver as a super solid removal spell, and we'll see what we can get in these next couple packs. Moving on into this next selection, we could take a Disruptive Stormbrood as a really solid top-end dragon, and then also it's got a pretty good ability in that Petty Revenge Omen that allows us to destroy a creature with power 3 or less. We could also go with a Temur Monument. Temur might be slightly open. Other considerations, Tawny Back is okay, Dirger Island Dragon's okay, Spectral Denial is okay, but I think we're just going to go with the Disruptive Stormbrood here, and hopefully Sultai is at least somewhat open. Heading on into our 4th pick, Spectral Denial is pretty good. I think we're just going to take that here. Royal Procession is okay. Again, I think that Mardu is going to get pretty closed off in this next pack. So I'm not particularly wanting to take those cards here, but I know there's a world where our Mardu deck is kind of nasty right now. We're going to go with the Spectral Denial here and see what else we can pick up. Alright, continuing in this draft, we could take a Stalwart Successor if we start going into a black-green, almost like an Abzan counters deck. I think the Stalwart Successor can be really good. I don't know that that's necessarily the route we want to go, but there's not much else I like in this pack. So we are going to pick it up here, and hopefully we can get some more counters with things like the Knockout Maneuver. Okay, so we are kind of finding our lane here a little bit. I do think Abzan is open with here the Synchronized Charge and the Abzan Monument, and we'll try and get some just low-to-the-ground creatures, put some counters on them, and try to steal some games here. Moving on into our 7th pick. I'm between either an Enoch Wayfarer, an Undergrowth Leopard, or the Jungle Hollow. I think for us, we want the Enoch Wayfarer just because it has the ability to put a counter on it, or you can go get a land. So kind of that duality of it, I think, makes it a pretty decent card. Heading on now into our 8th pick, it looks like Abzan is going to be open. So I think we might shift and start taking some white cards here. So we could take a Wayspeaker Bodyguard as a decent enough top-end creature card. Could take an Aggressive Negotiations as a pretty solid Abzan card, getting that counter as well. I think we're going to go with the Aggressive Negotiations here. I don't love it, but I do like putting a counter onto something. Heading on into this 9th pick. This is the pack we started with. I think I'm going to go with just another Enoch Wayfarer here as just a really good way to start out our games and hopefully get some value by getting a land back. Now we're really excited to pick up a Piercing Exhale as a super solid removal spell. So heading into this second pack, our creatures are okay. I think we have moved into wanting to be kind of a black-green shell, potentially playing blue for like a Sipsig Appraiser and a Spectral Denial. But I think that this is going to be where the value in our deck is. Here we'll take a Worthy Cost as a fine removal spell. I don't think we want to play it in like an Abzan deck. We'll take Reputable Merchant. There you look. There's a world where we play that. Probably not going to play in Alicia's Legacy here. So here's what we're looking after our first pack. We are short on creatures, heavy on spells. So definitely looking to pick up some better creatures in this next pack. And we do have a couple that I like. So I actually like the Attuned Hunter a pretty good amount. I think it's a solid 3-drop. I think when we do the counters thing, it's going to be pretty solid to put a counter on this. We'll be able to cast things like the Synchronized Charge from our graveyard, putting more counters on it. So I think we're more than happy picking up an Attuned Hunter here. Other considerations, the Skagu Wilding is okay. Salt Road Skirmish is okay. I'm glad that our rare was terrible. We couldn't have even taken it. So we'll go with the Attuned Hunter here. Moving on into our second pick out of this pack, I actually think we're pretty excited to pick up a Traveling Botanist. It's just a really good value card here, and one that we're very excited to fill our 2-drop slot with. Kind of a premium uncommon in green, of just allowing us to filter our draws. Alright, heading into this next pack, it is decision time. I would love a Hollow Merc Siege. That'd be fun to take. That'd be great. I could stop doing challenges, just take the Hollow Merc Siege. But no, we're not taking any rares. We're not taking any mythics.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So I'm between either the Disruptive Stormbrood, we can get our second one of these, or we can take a Skirmish Rhino. I actually think there's a chance we wheel this. I don't think anybody's in Abzan. And this is like a hardcore, you're only playing this if you're in Abzan. So I'm going to take another Disruptive Stormbrood here, and hopefully we can table the Skirmish Rhino. For our next selection, I'm actually pretty excited to pick up another Attuned Hunter. I think the way we win these games is going to be by just getting big creatures and trampling over our opponents. I think another creature card that's great for that is the Formation Breaker. So just having a bunch of counters on our creatures is going to be great. Look, I think we're in the right route. Like Host of the Hereafter, it can be really solid. I think we're super excited to pick that up here. Next pack is a little bit slower. Adorned Crocodile is not great. Roamer's Routine is not great. I'm going to take the Bloodfell Caves and like the off chance we play something else. We're not going to play the Adorned Crocodile. I think we're going to get a bunch of other creatures that we like more than that. And we've got the bearings of a starting deck here. Alright, moving on into our 8th pick here. We could take an Abzan Devotee, but I'm actually pretty excited to take a Sage of the Fang. We've got a lot of counters moving around here early. If we can pick up another like Formation Breaker, that'd feel really strong. But just any way that we can put counters on our creatures, I think we're really excited about. Hopefully we can get another Synchronized Charge. Just like another uncommon would really help this deck get elevated. But look, I think we read the signals correctly. I think we're in the right colors, and hopefully we can wheel some good stuff in this last pack. Alright, this pack is not great. We'll take a Boulderborn Dragon. Maybe we should just take another Spectral Denial in the chance that we slot back in our Sipsig Appraiser and our other Spectral Denial. We're probably not going to end up playing a Boulderborn Dragon regardless. Here, we're actually pretty excited to pick up an Abzan Monument. I think that's going to be good for our fixing should we end up wanting to play white at all. I don't know if we want to play this Reputable Merchant. We'll see. We do wield the Skirmish Rhino. It's back, and we're taking it. We're very excited to pick that up here. I do think that card is decent enough. Our land fixing is kind of horrendous, but we're going to try it out. I'm also going to take a Delta Bloodflies here. I think there is a world in which we play that if we're going super aggressive here. Very excited to pick up an Earth Carver as well. All right, so a lot wheeling at the end there. Here we would love to take a Hallowmark Siege, but we are not going to take it. Can't do it. I am thinking I'm between the Kintree Severance, land fixing, and the Snakeskin Veil here. I think we're a little bit light on interaction, so I'm going to pick up the Kintree Severance here as a really solid removal spell, and we'll look to hopefully shore up our mana base in future packs, and really limit the white cards we're taking. So like this and the Reputable Merchant don't have to be in our deck. Here I am actually pretty excited. So we could go with another Synchronized Charge, or we could go with the Loxodon Battle Priest. This is going to sound crazy. I think there's a world in which the Loxodon Battle Priest wheels back to us. So we're going to take the Synchronized Charge here as a solid spell that hopefully will allow us to just run over our opponents. Moving on into our third pick, we could take Duckhoven Pack Beasts. I don't think this is the deck that's trying to be in. That's more like a Mardu aggressively slanted card. We could take another Duskiet Earthcarver, which I think is going to be our pick. We're really lacking a top end to this deck right now. I think having two of those, we actually feel pretty good about that. All right, so we do end up picking up another Formation Breaker here, which I am really excited about. I think this will give us the best opportunity to just run over our opponents. Now we'll pick up a Jungle Hollow as the fixing. There is an Alchemist Assistant here, which is pretty solid, but I think the Jungle Hollow is going to be pretty necessary for us to just be able to play out all of our things. I think we'll probably take as much white out of the deck as we can. I'm not positive we're going to end up wanting to splash for the Skirmish Rhino. I think we do, especially if we have two of them. But maybe we just want the Champion of Doosan here. When it dies, we can put a counter on something else. Maybe we do just want the Champion of Doosan. We'll put the Skirmish Rhino back, and we'll just play green-black. Aggressive counters. We'll see. Continuing on, I am going to take another Delta Bloodflies here. And look, there's a world where these Bloodflies get going. They're actually decent. So we've got a really interesting looking deck here. We're sitting at 17 creatures, 8 non-creatures. Here, I don't think we're going to play another Earthcarver. We'll take it just in case. So we are more than happy picking up a Snakeskin Veil here. Just another way to add a counter to a creature. You know, I don't think we want any of these cards particularly. Aggressive Negotiations is also probably not going to be one that we're going to have the time to play. Rainy Veil Rejuvenator also probably not going to make its way into our deck. So we're looking at a weird, aggressive counters deck. I don't know how this deck's going to do, but we're going to figure it out here. Here, we'll actually take the devotee. I think this is really the deck we're going to be looking at. Alright, so here is the deck we're looking at today. It is a super aggressive counters deck. It actually looks pretty fun. I think there's some worlds in which we can steal a couple of wins here. And remember, if we get 0 wins, I'm giving away a collector booster pack to one of you. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment down below. We'll go ahead and jump into it here in this first game. Alright, so our opponent goes first in this first game. I do think we're going to keep this. We can play the Aenoch Wayfarer on 2 and potentially add the counter to it, and then we'll make it into a 3/3 on turn 3. So that's certainly something. We'll try it. It's going to be an army of commons and uncommons here for us. Hopefully our opponent is not going to be too aggressively slanted here, because I do think our deck is going to take some ramping up. Okay. Dismal Blackwater looks good to us. So here I am going to play the Bloodflies first. So next turn we can play the Sage of the Fang, targeting the Bloodflies, and hopefully get an attack in here. I have not played with this card yet, so we're going to see. I know it has not been performing well at all, but if there was ever a time to try it, it'd be right now. Nest Guard is fantastic. Our Bloodflies is useless. So we'll put the counter on there. Oh, it doesn't have reach. Why did I think this creature had reach?
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay, so it's not fantastic. Oh, okay. That looks like a reach creature to me. That's fine though. If they want to pay 3 and attack us, I'm more than happy for them to do that. Mardu Siegebreaker is really interesting. So they're attacking with a 4/4. So we're taking 8 here. I think we're okay with that. What in the world is happening right now? So I think that we are most interested in playing our Enoch Wayfarer first. And then I think we're going to decline it. That way we can block with the Sage of the Fang. Actually, we're going to attack. And then we are going to block with the 2 Enoch Wayfarers next turn. If they want to use a removal spell on one of the Enoch Wayfarers, like, that's fine by me. We get some value with the Champion of Doosan here. So now we're setting up a decent double block. And I think we're okay if they get back their Crotique Nest Guard here. This might be the first time anybody's ever played the Mardu Siegebreaker, targeting a Crotique Nest Guard and then attacked with it. We might be seeing history here. So, this feels bad. We're going to do it anyways. We're going to double block. If they have a removal spell, it's tough. But if not, I think we just are going to slowly lose. Okay, so we get rid of it there. They do get the Nest Guard back, which is good. Looks like they have a removal spell for the Delta Bloodflies. Yep. I'm going to put a counter on the Nest Guard. Okay. Interesting. So I do think we're going to play the Stalwart Successor here. And then I am just going to put the counter on the Sage of the Fang. Turn it into a 4/4. We're not going to attack, but then after this, if we draw an untap land, we can play the Earth Carver, or we can play the Snakeskin Veil and get a couple more counters on the Sage of the Fang. They do have 5 cards in hand, none of which are lands, so they're sitting on a lot of action here. Encroaching Dragonstorm is fine by us. So I do think we are interested in just attacking with the Stalwart Successor here. And then playing out our Earth Carver. I do think we're going to put 4 1/1 counters on it. They probably have a removal spell. But I think that this way gives us our best chance of blocking and then potentially attacking next turn. Yep, so they do have a Stormplane Detainment here. Into another Stormplane Detainment is quite strong. This game is so weird. What a strange game of Magic we're seeing here. Herd Heirloom is good. I think we might have to block just so they don't start getting crazy value on that. What in the world is this deck? Alright. Where the cost is not great. Not great here. So I think they'll probably just attack with both here. So we are going to block. And then Snakeskin Veil. It's not great. It's kind of all we can do. We're going to continue drawing lands here, which is not fantastic. So we're going to lose to an army of Nest Guards here, which feels horrendous. We'll take 6 here, and then if we don't draw a creature, we are dead next turn. Alright, we go down in game 1. This deck might be terrible. Alright, jumping into this next one, I did take out the Worthy Cost. I added another Earth Carver. So we've got 3 of those rocking now. Hopefully we can trample over our opponents somehow, some way. We are going to keep this. I think the Formation Breaker is a solid start here. And then into Champion of Doosan can be good as well. Temur Monument is decent. We'll see if they get a mountain. They do. So I think that we are just going to play out our Formation Breaker. They have a Dragonologist, which is quite strong. We'll see if they can pull a dragon here. So they get a Dragon Claw Strike, which is pretty good. I do think that we are just going to attack to start here. If they really want to use their Dragon Claw Strike to take out the Champion of Doosan, be my guest. I would assume they'll probably save that for something bigger. Herd Heirloom is quite strong. Attuned Hunter is also pretty good. I do think we are going to get a little bit aggressive here. And we're going to knockout maneuver the Attuned Hunter. That way we can attack for a bunch here. I think they'll probably use the Dragon Claw Strike next turn on our Champion of Doosan, but hopefully our Formation Breaker can just continue to take over. And then after this, we'll be able to protect it with the Snakeskin Veil. To get rid of it here doesn't feel great. Magmatic Hellkite is pretty good. So now I do think we'll play our Bloodflies across from their rare. And I do think we're going to try and pick off the Hellkite here. And if not, we'll just try to save it on our next turn. Awesome. So we are going to play our Snakeskin Veil here. It does turn the creature into an 8/8 here, but we're getting in 5 points of damage next turn. So really close to lethal if they don't play anything else. Embermouth Sentinel will keep them alive for a second. But if we can just keep our Formation Breaker alive, I think we just get it done here. So I'm banking on them not having another spell, but if we can put a counter on the Formation Breaker, turns into a 6/6, we'll attack with the Bloodflies and the Formation Breaker. We'll do exactly 7. Don't have a removal spell. Alright, we get there! Alright, here we go. We've got some momentum. We're 1-1. Alright, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first, but if we don't draw a forest, we're kind of dead here. So I'm going to mulligan this. Alright, we can keep this. I think we'll put back one of our Disruptive Stormbroods, and then hopefully we can go get a land with a Wayfarer, and then play our Sage of the Fang on 3. So that's kind of our strategy here. So we will play our Wayfarer here. I do think we're interested in getting a land. Okay. We're not going to get a land. So we did get some value in our graveyard with the Synchronized Charge and the Champion of Doosan. But we are going to need to pull a land off the top here. We've had a lot of draw steps to do so. Okay, perfect. Right back on track. I think we're just going to play the Sage of the Fang. And then if they want a double block, I'm like inviting that. I think we're totally fine with that. But I think they're going to be fine just taking 3 here. Okay, I'm also good with that. Feels like a 2-for-1 for us. Looks like they're going to be fetching some more lands here. Teamer Devotee is okay. So I think that we are most interested in playing this aggressively. So I'm going to put the counter on the Sage of the Fang. I'm then going to Piercing Exhale. I want to reveal our dragon so we can start filtering our draws a little bit here. Or they're going to have a Snakeskin Veil. So Bloodflies are fine. Land is also fine. I think we want the land first. Snakeskin Veil is crazy there. Did not have them having that. But it's okay. So next turn we can play our Stormbrood. If we really wanted to, we could knock out Maneuver the Teamer Devotee. But I think we're interested in just playing out our dragon here. And then next turn, we can go knockout Maneuver into the Bloodflies. I think we'll feel pretty decent. Then after that, we could Synchronize Charge. There's a lot of things we could do. Looks like we're going to get back a Dragon Claw Strike. Sure. So we are going to play the... Let's start by doing this. Let's put our counter on the Stormbrood. Let's take out the Devotee. If they have another Snakeskin Veil, that's tough. Okay, so that resolves. Bloodflies is only when this creature attacks. So we're going to start by attacking here. We're going to attack... I was going to say with both. We're still going to attack with the Sage of the Fang here. If they want to trade, I'm fine with that. We'll get some value in its ability to come back from the grave and put some counters on a creature. So hopefully they don't have too much here. They can't play the Dragon Claw Strike and get rid of one of these creatures. If they do want to get rid of the Stormbrood, it would get rid of their Devotee as well. So like that's fine. Yeah, so I think we're like okay with that trade. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's also not the worst. So here I do think we want to just get our Bloodflies going. If they have another removal spell, it's just rude. Okay, so they have the Georgia Island Dragon again here. So now I do think we want to just attack first. And then I think we're going to play that with the Earthcarver. I think that makes the most sense. If they counter it, it's not great. Sure. Next one we can play our other Delta Bloodflies. Maybe should have played around a counter a little bit better there. We'll start by attacking again. So if they had a removal spell, I feel like they would be using it. So we're just going to play out our other Delta Bloodflies. We're going to play out our Traveling Botanist, and hopefully our army of commons and uncommons can get there here. So they've got a Durger Island Dragon here. What's fun is we can go Stalwart Successor into Synchronized Charge. We'll tap down the Successor. I'm going to do the Bloodflies and the Bloodflies. And now we can attack with a 5/6. So we're just putting maximum pressure on our opponent here. Next turn we can attack everywhere. We've got a creature with menace. We've got a couple flyers. And hopefully that'll be enough to get it done here. I'm just going to continue attacking with the... Well, we'll see what they do first. So we will put that on top of our deck. We'll attack with the Stalwart Successor here. Then we'll play out our Formation Breaker. So they are going to focus the mind, but they need a couple things here to recover. And looks like, so we're just going to start by attacking everywhere. Get our opponent down to 4. All right, we get there again. We're 2-1. We take those. All right, hop into this next game. We are 2-1 somehow with this Bloodflies deck. We're going to keep this. Bloodflies on 2. We can synchronize charge. We can host to the hereafter. We're going to try this out. We've got our colors. And hopefully the Bloodflies can continue to deliver here. Some really weird games we've had so far. But they're not ready to see some Bloodflies. And then I actually am going to synchronize charge the Bloodflies themselves, make it into a 3-4. We'll do 4 damage next turn. And then hopefully they can stay alive for a second. We can host the hereafter the turn after that, so that those counters can be used again. It's kind of my idea. Yeah, we're going to go for it. If they get rid of our Bloodflies, it stinks, but we can still play the hereafter after that, and then we can play our Stormbrood and try and take out the Jeskai Monument. So we'll see what our opponent does here. They do have a lot of cards in hand. So Aggressive Negotiations is pretty solid. They don't get to put anything on their creatures, though. So I feel like they might not have any creatures in hand. It is a bummer that they just took out our Host of the Hereafter, so they are going to be able to crack the Jeskai Monument, and they know that we have the Disruptive Stormbrood, so that's not ideal, but what are you going to do? Looks like they do now have a removal spell. Next turn we'll just play out the Stormbrood, we'll take out the Monument. They have a counterspell, that's also tough. Okay. Opponent getting the better of us here early. We do need to draw some more creatures. Hopefully we can recover here. Like Karakit Guardian is fantastic. Yeah, we might be in a tough spot here. Opponent's got an interesting deck playing the Aggressive Negotiations in a all-colors dragon deck. Sure. It's working for him. We're going to continue drawing some lands here. It's going to put us in a real tough spot. Like a Dissonant Earthcarver off the top would be pretty solid. But otherwise, we're going to struggle here. Yeah. That's pretty much just going to do it. Earthcarver plus removal, maybe, but I think we've drawn 3 or 4 lands in a row. We're just not going to be quite enough here. Yeah. All right, we go down here. That's all right. That's all right. 2-2 now. All right, hopping into this next one. We do get to go first. We're going to keep this. It's a little bit slow, but I think a Tuna Hunter on 3 into possibly a synchronized charge is going to feel decent. Traveling Botanist is right on time here. Really a fantastic draw there to help us get ahead of this curve. We'll get to attack with it too, so hopefully getting some value there. It is a synchronized charge. I do think want to keep it there. Because next turn with the Attuned Hunter, we can Synchronize Charge and Synchronize Charge again. I think that's going to feel pretty strong. Our opponent is rocking the Duskmourn lands, which are awesome. Glacial Dragon Hunt is really good if it gets rid of our Attuned Hunter. Maybe they'll get rid of the Traveling Botanist here. Okay. So we'll keep our Attuned Hunter. And then I do think we're just going to Synchronize Charge on the Attuned Hunter. I think Synchronize Charging twice feels like psychotic. So let's do it. Turning it into a 7/7 with Trample and Vigilance. If they have like a Stormplane Detainment, it's terrible, but it's kind of, I don't know. 7/7 with Trample this early is not the worst thing in the world. We'll get out our Formation Breaker. And then we'll cast it again. It's a 9/9. I fear they're gonna like put it on the top of our library here. But they're really letting us have our fun. It's a 10/10. Don't do it. Boo!
Nice.
That's terrible. Ah, that's such a bummer. Such a bummer. I mean, we went for it. We knew they had mana up. Like, who cares? We're playing with a deck with no rares. Iridescent Tiger's good. He'll get some value here, sure. Focus the Mind is super solid. I mean, there was only like 2 cards that could have got us. Riverwalk Technique and Stormplane Detainment. They had the Riverwalk Technique in hand. Like, whatever. Don't cast another spell. Okay, we'll take 2 here. So we will play out the Synchronized Charge here. I am going to put both of them on the Formation Breaker so that they cannot block it, and we turn our Attuned Hunter into a 4/4. This way we're still doing maximum damage next turn, so untap lane we can go Earth Carver. Hopefully they're out of action here. Doesn't feel like it though. Ice Ridge Serpent's good. So here I do think we just want to play out the Earth Carver. I think we're fine trading the Attuned Hunter with the Iridescent Tiger here. I actually want to do this. So we get rid of 2 of their creatures, and then we're just going to make a huge Earth Carver. And hopefully they have no more interaction. But we'll see. My goal is that we can just try and attack them with the Earth Carver enough times that they quit. We'll see how that plan goes. I mean, look, we've attacked into worse. Why? So we get Just Got Revelation, which is like cool. It's great for our opponent, super fun. And we're just trying to make it work, you know. We don't have much. We've got an Earth Carver. We've got some Blood Flies. We're trying our best. They're going to get the Just Got Revelation back. This game, man. This is tough. We were having so much fun in this one. I mean, look, I think we actually did the right thing by getting the Attuned Hunter to be a 10/10. If that resolves, we just kind of win. But, you know, we are not getting it done here. All right, get out of here. Go Just Got Revelation again. So we fall short today. We are 2-3 in some really weird games of Magic the Gathering. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. We definitely had some strange plays with like the Siege Breaker on the Nest Guard and just like a lot of chaos. A lot of chaos. So based on this video and my performance, I'm going to be giving away 2 packs of Tarkir Dragonstorm to one of you. All you have to do to claim this giveaway is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on where I went wrong. As you can tell, the channel is not that serious. We do fun challenges. We're trying to just have a good time, do a bunch of giveaways. So if you enjoy that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow along. Thanks y'all for watching. Until next time.